Okay, guys, I think it's time to continue this series with episode 12 or something. So I know that we're all really looking forward to start the actual game, and I'm looking forward to it myself, but I don't want my tutorials to be uh, not so quality, if you know what I mean. So we did some things the not so good way in the previous episodes, and we are going to just really fix, quick fix them, clean this up. Let's start with the main menu. And the first thing that is important is that this is actually crap. I told you there is a bug and table.setTransform isn't working. Here workaround because table.setTransform is not working. And then we set the size, but that's all crap. All we want to do is to say table.invalidate hierarchy. And there are these two methods, invalidate, which just causes this table's layout to be recalculated, so the cell sizes, the positions and everything is gonna be recalculated. And then there's invalidate hierarchy, which calls invalidate on this table and then invalidate on all the parent actors. That's also what the documentation on the right side here says, but I just said it myself. So let's say invalidate hierarchy. You can always use invalidate hierarchy if you want to be sure that nothing is going to get messed up. So we are just going to go with this, and this is pretty much all we have to do for the main menu, I think. Yeah, I think it's fine. We could take this label heading out here and make this a local variable, label heading, and we're all fine again, so we lost one up there. Is there anything else we can do? We need the table in here, the buttons. Well, we could even take the buttons out. Yeah, let's actually take the buttons out. We take them out here, and then I just say text button and text button and text button, and we are already fine again. We just made them local variables that are then added to the table, so we don't lose them. But I think if we have some less things up here, it just looks a little bit nicer. The Tween Manager should be up there as well, the stage as well, so now we're done with the main menu. Let's go to the level menu. And there's plenty of things that we can do. At first we got the texture atlas up here. We don't want that. We just want to take the constructor of this texture atlas here and put it instead of this atlas variable. So now you think we still have to dispose the texture atlas, but we actually don't, because we call skin.dispose, and the documentation says disposes the texture atlas and all disposable resources in the skin. So this skin.dispose already takes care of it, and we don't have to do anything. I guess we can also take out the scroll pane, make this local again. Yep. Also, we can take out the list and the text buttons. List, text button, text button. Yeah, and then we get some errors down here. But this is all weird and not so good. At first, because we learned about this table.invalidate hierarchy, we wanna remove this. I don't know why we got this in here. That's already a step in the right direction. But we don't need setup table at all. We just want to make sure to invalidate correctly again. And then we take all of this. We don't need table.clear because we just set it up once. We take all of this out. We remove this method, and this goes instead of this method call here. Also, we don't need to add these 3 empty cells with a fixed size. Instead, there is something. I'm just going to show you this so you can imagine it better. So let's fire up our little game and go to play. And now this looks really weird. We got this 3 columns here, and they are all sized according to their content. So this is the first column, and since this text here is pretty long, it tries to take as much space as it can. And it can take pretty much space. There's this play button, which just takes from there to there, and the back button, which just takes from there to there. So we previously said we add 3 pretty much invisible cells that have a fixed width, so they align all these others in the columns that they are in. But now we have this nice thing called uniform X. Also here uniform X, and uniform X here as well. And as the name uniform lets you think, it's pretty much just uniforming the size of it according to what else is in the table. We can think of that this way. So let's go back and in there again, and we see it's all fine. Also, if we resize, we still see that we are not done. But whatever, we can fix this really quick by saying the table should always have the size of its parent, and the parent is the stage. So the stage is always resized here, stage.setViewport. So now the stage goes all over this black area, all over the window, but the table doesn't. So if we say the table should always fill its parent, which is the stage, this should be done. So let's say table.setFillParent. Pretty simple to remember in my opinion. And we go back, we go in again, and every time we resize, we got it all nice and clean without any kind of hacks and dirty coding. So I think this looks way better. Is there anything we can do? Nope, this is it for the level menu. Then we got the splash, but I think this is fine. Yeah, that's... oh no, it's not really this fine, because I started this application on Android one day, and I saw that the splash screen doesn't fit onto the window, which is because we have this black.2 assets image, and there's this splash.png which we display. And if we see into its properties, it is exactly 1280 times 720 pixels, and we set the window size in the beginning to exactly this size, so no wonder it's fitting exactly on there. But on the Android device we don't have this much space, so we have to resize this splash sprite to the actual window size, if you know what I mean. I think there's the properties. No, okay, it's gone. Whatever. To do this, we just say if the window is resized, and that is called in the beginning as well. We wanna actually resize this sprite splash to the given size. So splash.setSize width and height, and we're pretty much done. You think we don't resize it in the beginning, but if you remember the life cycle of the of the application listener and the game and everything of LibGDX pretty much, it's in this following order. In the beginning, show is called, and then resize is called, even if we didn't resize the the window itself actually. But it's called nevertheless, so we can do things like this. It's looking exactly the same. What was that? Okay, that's not so cool. But this is because the splash is resized, but the sprite badge is not. Let's say if we can take care of this, get projection matrix. Oh my god. And scale this thing. I don't know. I have no idea. Let's just try it out. Nope, let's not. It's just a splash screen, okay? Who actually cares? And they're just really short. So whatever. We could use a camera now and then resize the camera viewport according to blah 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 blah. We are maybe going to do that later, but really I don't actually care about that right now. The splash tune is fine like this. Then we got the settings, but I think they're fine as well. Skin, we can well, the checkbox, when is it used? We have the mark occurrences here. And it's all just in the show method, isn't it? Yes, we can make these local variables again. Let's take this checkbox, this back button, and this text field. We get a bunch of errors. Yes, we just move this up here. So the listener is happy because these variables actually exist. Checkbox. We already got the checkbox. What is it? Okay, we have to change this to final because of some Java stuff. But we just set the checkbox once anyway, so we don't care about that. It's okay being final. Also, the level directory input is allowed to go up there. Text field, and we are going to make it final again. Then there's still the back button. Which is a text button, and which has to be final again, and he's happy here. Note that the listeners are added after we create the listener, obviously, but whatever. Also, we we still have this crap in here. We don't need this. Table dot invalidate hierarchy, and we are fine. But the table should always fill its parent, so we actually don't need this anyway. Because if you look closely, we set the bounds to from the bottom left corner 0 0 to the width and height of the whole screen. But if we say set fill parent, we set the size to the size of the stage, which is exactly this size that we say down here. So table dot set fill parent to true, and we are already happy again. I think we forgot that in the main menu. In the level menu. We still got that in there, don't we? Yeah, set bounds. We don't need this. It's all taken care of with the table.setFillParent. This already looks nicer again. Just the skin, the table, and the stage, and the rest is all stored in the table, and we can get it from the table if we want to. Also, we got this independent pause menu, all commented out from requested tutorial number 2, but this actually has nothing to do in here, so let's take this out and this as well and move this to this concepts thing here, which is also from a requested tutorial. Where's the show method? There it is, and we're just going to move it down here. This makes a little bit more sense. Also, not forget to add this to the table, to the stage. Stage dot add actor. Oops. Add actor. Pause because it's called pause. And comment this out. Maybe we don't even want this commented out. Text button, continue button, he has some problems. Okay, this has to be a comment, obviously. Then we have to import some stuff. Yes. And it's all fine. Then we can align this properly, and yeah, now we got a pause menu. Who cares? It's just the concepts. Also the concepts don't have to do anything with the game, so let's probably take these out and put them into my other project here. Source, screens. So they are out of the way. Okay. And that's it. So now there's just one thing left to do, and this is actually on the issue tracker of my Bitbucket repository. So let's go there, bitbucket.org/myname/blackpoint2, and then we see there's one issue, and we see it's called vsync not set to preferences on startup, and then there's some description, but it basically just says that if you start up the game, it doesn't care about if vsync is activated or deactivated in the settings. So we would think we can just say settings.vsync here, but if we actually check out what settings.vsync does, it's getting from the current app, from the current application listener, it's getting the preferences and then checks for the vsync property in this preferences. But if we try to run this, let's try it out, we will get some naughty exception, and that is right here. It's a nullpointerexception, which is simply because, let me open that up again, we try to get something from gdx.app, where gdx.app is null because this is where we create gdx.app. So right here it is still null. Instead we can just set this to true again by default, and then in the splash screen we're just going to put this right here, because this is pretty much the first screen that is ever shown, so this is very in the beginning. Let's just say apply preferences, and then we just set gdx.graphics, which is not null anymore, as well as gdx.app. This is not null here as well, but we need gdx.graphics.set vsync to settings.vsync. So now it should be fine. We don't really see the difference, but we now know that vsync is set to what we stored in the preferences earlier. I got a little fraps thing here, but it always shows around 60 frames per second, no matter if we enable vsync or not, because of some frame limit or something, to not take up too much computing power for just this little game. So now that we got this cleared, let's say, oops, let's actually log in, because otherwise I cannot do much. So log in. What? Oh yeah, I changed everything. And this is now resolved. Resolved in episode 12. Change. Alright. Okay, so I'm really sorry that we haven't started with the actual game now, but I think we are really ready to do that. We have now a nice clean coded, at least more clean than it was before, screens for the menu. And now that this part is really done and really fine, we can move on. And I think we're going to move on pretty soon. Maybe I even record the next tutorial today. I don't know. So the next tutorial is going to be about Box2D, because Box2D is the physics engine that we are going to use in the game, and it's pretty powerful. Box2D is really good. You can do a lot of things with it, but you have to know a lot of things. It's pretty confusing in the beginning, but you'll be alright with it, I hope. So thank you for watching this more or less pointless episode. Just wanted to let you know how this is all now a little bit cleaner. And yeah, have a good day. Thanks for watching.